So, hello everyone. Everyone can hear me correctly? Can hear us correctly?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, hello. So 43 people, as always, big audience, so that's good. We got a lot of people here from, of course, the July groups. We, of course, got the volunteers that help the groups. But we even have students from the January groups, I see. We even have students from earlier groups from October and March. So we got a very nice mixed audience here. And even, yeah, Jose, I'm talking. I think you're the only one who, okay, then you cannot hear this, obviously. Yeah, we're talking. um, so yeah, big mix of people here and even some companies. I think Pierre, yeah, Pierre is already here from Adaptive, one of the two companies that actually sponsored the July groups. So thank you, Pierre, for joining. We got even some people from Greece here, from Open Cultural Center, the organization behind MigraCode. So yeah, we got a huge mix of people, and we're super happy that you're all here to see the really amazing work of the students that they've been doing in the last 2 months almost, working on the final projects. So yeah, we're starting now. Voy a hablar en inglés por esta noche, porque la mayoría de la gente aquí prefiere inglés, pero por supuesto para los estudiantes que van a presentar sus proyectos, si tú quieres hablar en español, castellano, por supuesto está bien y tú puedes hablar en castellano. So there are two parts tonight. One is the introduction that I'll be giving together with Carlos, who's next to me over here. Everyone knows Carlos, our head of education. And then the biggest part of tonight will be the team presentations. We have 4 teams presenting. After the first 2 teams, we'll have a short break. So you have some time to, like us, actually grab a beer, because keep in mind, this is an informal evening. Of course, we have very formal projects that will be published tonight and presented tonight. But the idea is that it's just a really nice way to get to know the work of our students and to get to know our students. So yeah, that's a bit of the schedule for tonight. So a little bit about MigraCode before starting, because maybe some people here in this call, I think everyone knows what we do, but in a few lines what we do, we are a bootcamp, like any other bootcamp, a coding bootcamp, teaching coding, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Node, databases, the whole full stack package. But specifically to people with a migration background, like all our students. And we offer it as free education, as we believe that education should be open to anyone, especially those who do not have access to it because of, well, their economic situation or their background or whatever reason that prevents them from accessing education. I'm very thankful and happy to say that we've been sponsored by 2 amazing companies. The first one is Lenovo. I'm not sure if Monica or Santiago are here. But anyway, they've been great partners. They've been sponsoring this group, and they will also sponsor one of our next groups. So big thanks to them. And the same for Adaptive, pretty much the same story. Thank you, Pierre and Stefania. I don't think you are here, but Ricard is here, who's been super involved as well as a volunteer himself. And also Adaptive has been an amazing partner, and now, and I'm quite sure for in the future as well. Definitely hope so. And not just by sponsoring this course, but also by being very involved, very intrinsically involved for all the people in Adaptive. We have a lot of volunteers from Adaptive, like Ricard. But also other people have been teaching these groups and have been teaching other groups and will also be teaching future groups. So this is extremely important and allows us to offer free education to our community. So big thanks to both of you. So I want to go back a little bit in time because, as you know, we started in July, hence the name July Groups. And we started in person. It was in a time where COVID was a little less of a big issue. The numbers were going down. Catalonia was quite open. and we were allowed to open in person. Unfortunately, a week after, the numbers went bad again, and basically our first class had to be online. And we all had to adjust again, because we already adjusted before with our March groups. But with an amazing motivation of students and volunteers, we were able to do so, to continue our program online. And luckily, I just want to point that out, is that our graduation will be in person. WebHelp is offering a space, the same one where we started basically on this Saturday at 11 o'clock. We'll have the graduation. All students are invited. I will send all of you a personal invitation this week. But also, of course, the sponsors are invited, and me and Carlos, Marta, Harriet will be there as well. Due to the capacity limit of COVID, I cannot invite probably most of the volunteers. I'm really sorry. I really wanted to, but that's unfortunately the result of the restrictions. But yeah, we will try to arrange a stream of the graduation. So that's how we started, basically how we're going to end with the graduation. We did have some in-person moments, partly because of some of the students, like Tony on this picture, followed some classes, the online classes from the space in WebHelp, but also the Code Women sessions led by Harriet were in person, either in her own space in Poland Now, or also at WebHelp, which was still really amazing, even though we had to adhere to a lot of guidelines regarding COVID, to still meet in person and actually meet each other in person. But besides all that, everything we did was online. And even though this will always be a challenge, you see Lino here teaching one of the first classes, I think. Online teaching is always a challenge, but again, the way students and volunteers have adjusted to this, and the person next to me organizing all this has been really impressive. And I think we've managed quite well, even though it's always challenging. So yeah, this is basically a summary of what I was saying. Really, I just want to emphasize that each one of you, volunteers and students, have worked a lot. Being online, working from home, sometimes not from the most easy environments. Not all of us live on their own, and they have to share their rooms with other people, and it's quite challenging to study, to concentrate. And students have been doing an amazing job. And again, WebHelp was also of great help to receive some of the students, follow the online classes there. But also the volunteers. I mean, I can start naming all of them. Yogi and all the others, Nico, who have been helping with the final project, who have been teaching all the modules, who have been co-buddies, who have been helping in our Slack support channel. It has been, again, as always, an incredible effort, and partly the reason why a lot of students have been able to make it this far. And I want to emphasize that, because we try to arrange a lot of the classes, we try to arrange all the technical tools to connect with each other, but in the end, it's the volunteers that are mostly helping the students directly with making the progress that they basically did in the last months. So I want to give the word to Carlos. Carlos will explain a little bit about the last 2 months, which were the final projects in which the students combined all their knowledge. And Carlos will explain a little bit more about what the final projects actually mean and why we do them. So,
thanks for the introduction, Vincent. So, yeah, as Vincent said, so this is like an 8-month course. So the first part of the course, it is 6 months of learning exercises, and then we have only 6 weeks, because this is like the 7th, and students don't have time to program, so they are just showing what they did. So in 6 weeks, they have to create and do a final project. So to understand the challenges that the students have, is that most of them, before this course, they didn't know what a programming language was. So they didn't know how to program. And after 6 months of doing exercises in different languages, they have to create a final project. So the first challenge is so after doing exercises in HTML, CSS, React, and Node, SQL, so they have to put all these pieces of a puzzle together. So they have to connect everything for the first time. So this is a very challenge. And with this, they have to create a project. So what we did in these 6 weeks was to not just develop. So the idea was to the students, they bring with ideas on what they want to build. And the second challenge was to move this idea to a application that works. And this is what we will see today. So, and the third challenge was to work as a team. So it's the first time that the students work together in a project with other developers, and they have to having one project, they had to split all the different functionalities, create different tasks, start planning, start managing resources, saying you have to do this and the other has to do the other thing, and then we have to connect. So this is a very important challenge and a very difficult one, because at the end, this is like all the companies working in a team, because the idea of working in a team is to add or multiply the effort of each member. And this is what they started, and they finally did very good. And why we could do it very, very good? Because the volunteers that we have. So during the last 2 months, we had a team instructor in each team, planning, doing weekly meetings. Some of them are doing daily meetings. So guiding the students in each process to finally create this final project. So thanks a lot for your effort and and for the knowledge and experience that you added to these final projects and to the MigraCode projects. Yeah, and well, so and if the challenge that we had were not enough, so we had to add that in this course we had to do everything online. So we meet one day, all of us, in the first day in the presentation, and after that we haven't seen each other. So all the teams had to work online, so doing meetings online and doing everything online. And this is a clear example of how the world is changing, and now all the meetings and almost everything we are doing it online. And well, we are using the same application that a lot of companies are using, like Slack to chat with others, meetings with Google or with Zoom for this kind of events, for the daily meeting, for the weekly meeting, Trello to manage what are the tasks that each member has to do, JIT to manage every task that they did, and they upload to a repository to then merge all the activities that they did, and Heroku as a platform to show to the general public what they built. Well, and that's all. And now it's the second part of the event, in which all the teams will show what they did.
Yeah, so I will give thank you, Carlos. Just wanted to quickly recap, and this is basically already what Carlos told us. I do want to emphasize it's not just volunteers; it's also Carlos actually managing all these volunteers and the students. So Carlos, also to you, huge accomplishment again, especially online. But also Angelo, who has been part part of one of the teams. Angelo is one of our European Solidarity Corps volunteers, but not only being part of a team, but at the same time helping us with managing MigraCode and also managing the new courses. So quite a challenging job while also working for Open Cultural Center. So it's important that he's also mentioned here. And of course, all others involved. I will quickly introduce the teams. I'll keep it short because each team will be able to introduce themselves better. But team one, under the supervision of Lino, one of our super dedicated volunteers, with Melina, Adriana, Angelo, Ricardo, and Jorge. Then we have team two, which was supervised by Boris, with Johanna, Tony, Jaime, and Zakil. And then we got team three, under supervision of Nandam, with Diana, with Gustavo, with Jose, and with Annie. And with team three, I want to specifically mention that with the first two teams, which was perfectly fine, they made a project which they came up themselves or was based on the ideas of other students. But team three actually made a project that was specifically, hopefully will be used by an organization. In this case, Open Cultural Center. So the organization behind MigraCode. As most of you know, that Open Cultural Center is not just active here in Barcelona, but also in Greece, in Polycastro, next to Thessaloniki. And there we actually work next to a refugee camp. But Polycastro is 7 kilometers away from the refugee camp. And I'm sure the team will give you more details about this. But basically, they've been always using a very crappy application to manage the bikes that OCC offers to the refugees to travel between the camp and the city. And actually, this team has been working on improving or actually a complete new application. They will give you more details, but it's important to mention. And they've been doing this with help from Irene and the whole team at OCC Greece. So I specifically also wanted to thank them for their involvement and giving their input. Team four, it started with Nico, if I understood correctly, but Javi also joined and started to help this team as well. So basically, they got the luxury of 2 supervisors. But it was a big team. We're talking about Ali, Alexei, Deeps, we're talking about Anudeep and also Amara, who all have been active in this team to create another product that was not just for their final projects, but actually part of, again, another product for an organization. In this case, Global M, one of MigraCode partners in the UK. Nick has been the main contact person. I'm not sure, Nick, if in the end you made it, but if you're here, thank you. And hopefully otherwise you'll see this in the recording. But they've been developing also a specific system that Nick asked us if any of our students could make this. I know it was extremely challenging to make this. So I'm very curious for the end result, but I'm very sure it's been very impressive. So I'm very eager to learn and to see what Team 4 made out of this for Global M. That's us talking for half an hour. And that's it. And now we're done. And we're going to leave it to Team 1. So I'm wondering who of Team 1 is going to present their screen.
Hola, soy Jorge.
Hola Jorge, ¿tú vas a compartir tu pantalla?
En principio sí.
Genial. Bueno, voy a parar con compartir y tú puedes empezar.
Ok. Vale. A ver, pero ¿por qué me pone esto? Un momentito. A ver.
Sí, tranquilo.
Es que ahora me pone que no puedo compartir yo porque no se queda una actualización. Vale, va a compartir una compañera mía, ¿vale? Melina, ¿puedes poner?
Sí, voy a buscarla. Que no la tenía preparada.
¿Tienes la opción, Melina? Sí. ¿O no?
A ver, creo que sí, pero I think I do. Let me. Ahí estamos en español.
Bueno, tranquilo.
No, voy a buscar primero la presentación.
Sí, no presa. No prisa y no presa.
Si alguien me puede citar en el Slack. Gracias. La primera, Adriana, ¿no? Sí. Ya presenté.
Perdón, sí, sí, sí.
Vale, gracias.
Sí, aquí podemos verlo.
ver.
Daily App.
Vale, ok. Bueno, me escucháis todos, ¿no?
Sí, todo bien. Genial.
Vale, Melina.
Sí, no, que quería mutearme. Vale.
Vale. Bueno, como sabéis, bueno, nosotros somos el Team 1, ¿vale? Hemos realizado esta aplicación que se llama Daily App. Hemos participado Adriana y Ángelo, que Ángelo fue nuestro fichaje de invierno. A mitad del proyecto lo incluimos en el grupo. Y se encargaron del frontend. Yo también participé un poco en el frontend. Y luego Melina, Ricardo y yo pues, nos dedicamos más al desarrollo de backend y nuestro mentor era Lino. Es Lino. Bueno, entonces, ¿cuál era el problema? O sea, ¿qué intentamos solucionar nosotros? Se ha detectado que hay muchos centros pequeños de día, como residencias, pero no fijas, no se quedan a dormir ahí los pacientes o las personas mayores. Entonces les faltan, según qué herramientas, para gestionar mejor la información. Como sabemos hoy en día en pandemia, es muy importante mantener la información actualizada al momento, lo más fácil y manejable posible. Entonces, muchos de estos centros, como son pequeños negocios, no son grandes negocios, pues no tienen estas herramientas. Para ello, nosotros hemos creado o queremos crear esta aplicación que se llama Daily App y es una aplicación para el control y la supervisión de personas mayores en centros de día. ¿Vale? ¿Con qué objetivo? Pues nosotros lo que queremos es facilitar a los médicos o a los administradores de estos centros para gestionar estos centros mejor, de una forma más actualizada y de esta forma intentar también tener una comunicación con la familia y que la familia pues esté al tanto o esté más conectada con lo que pasa en el centro, si ha realizado las actividades, si ha habido algún problema, si ha habido alguna incidencia. Entonces, para eso hemos creado esta aplicación. En cuanto a la arquitectura lo que viene a ser el flujo la aplicación, el flujo de la aplicación, nuestra aplicación va a ser, al fin y al cabo, una aplicación cerrada para el público, que solamente estará abierta y autorizada para ciertos usuarios, ya que, como por cuestiones de seguridad y porque al final es una aplicación para un centro de día, bueno, para varios centros de día. Entonces, lo que queremos es que esta información no se maneje desde fuera. Por tanto, la principal sería pues registrarte, hacer un login y según el perfil que se te haya otorgado, puedes entrar ya bien como director, como enfermero o trabajador, ya sea técnico enfermero o el cuidador, o familiar, para ver la información de qué es lo que está sucediendo con tu familia que está ahí en el centro de día, si llega a tiempo, si haya habido una incidencia, etc. ¿no? Entonces, el director de esta manera tiene distintas funciones, como añadir nuevos usuarios o invitar nuevos usuarios, añadir nuevos trabajadores, a dar de alta pacientes, dar de baja pacientes, etc. Entonces, bueno, la apariencia o la forma en la que tendría más o menos la parte frontend sería esta, en la que nosotros queremos que sea una aplicación sencilla, lo más intuitiva posible, porque al fin y al cabo tiene que ser para un manejo de tablets o móviles, porque los trabajadores tienen que estar manejándola continuamente, entonces no tiene que ser una molestia, tiene que ser algo sencillo de usar. Entonces, esa era nuestra intención. En cuanto a las herramientas que hemos utilizado, en frontend hemos usado Figma, que esta herramienta lo que nos permitía era poder obtener el código, ¿vale? Frontend, en este caso nosotros usamos React. Figma lo que hace es darnos al fin y al cabo el código, tanto CSS como los componentes, como las ventanas, en un solo componente. Entonces nosotros al final lo que teníamos que hacer era crear los componentes de acuerdo a estas ventanas y al final termina siendo como un trabajo relativamente más fácil. Te facilita esta labor de hacer desde cero la aplicación React. Entonces, como que te ayuda en este sentido. Es verdad que luego sí que es un poco más trabajoso porque a veces algo ya hecho, meterle mano es más complicado. Entonces, pero bueno, te ayuda bastante. Y luego en la parte de backend pues utilizamos Express, no de JS evidentemente, con Express y para la base de datos pues el que hemos hecho en la base de datos, ahora no me viene el nombre, no me acuerdo. Bueno, usamos el deliver y el Express era Progress SQL. SQL. Sí, se me había olvidado. Y nada, y esto sería pues nuestra presentación de la aplicación. Como hemos ido haciendo en el grupo, pues os hemos preparado un vídeo, ¿vale? ¿Cómo sería la aplicación? Como vemos, bueno, este sería nuestro logotipo. Al final, nuestra base de datos es, como he dicho, PostgreSQL y utilizamos Beaver para gestionar esta base de datos y tenemos distinta información que guardamos de los usuarios. Sería una aplicación que tiene, como os he dicho antes, tiene que ser intuitiva y fácil de usar con el móvil, ya que la persona que lo utilice, sobre todo el trabajador, tiene que usarla mientras está con las personas mayores, en clases, si ocurre una incidencia que sea fácil de notificarla, etc. Y esta sería más o menos la apariencia desde la demo. Vale, sí. Entonces, a nivel de la aplicación como está, nosotros tenemos una demo que ahora mismo, bueno, pues la tengo yo, está funcionando bien. El problema que tenemos ahora, y el problema es lo que tiene el directo, es que no me deja compartir el ordenador y no podemos mostrarla. Si queréis, reinicio el ordenador, actualizo, reinicio, entro y os muestro la demo, si os va bien. Bueno, y al final, pues lo dicho. Este es nuestro grupo. Hemos participado todos y esta sería la aplicación y como os he dicho ahora mismo el problema que tengo es que no puedo compartir y tengo en local preparada la demo y no sé si me dais unos minutos para que pueda reiniciar.
Or maybe after the second group.
Oh, también.
So you have time to, tienes tiempo de prepararlo.
Sí, también. Lo siento, es que normalmente nosotros hacemos reuniones, alguna vez me he conectado, esta mañana de hecho me he conectado a Zoom y me dejaba compartir, pero ahora he vuelto, lo he encendido el ordenador y no me deja.
Después del equipo 2,
vale, perfecto.
Si quieres te conectas un momento y lo enseñas.
Vale, perfecto. Ok,
Exacto.
muchas gracias.
No, está bien y era muy bien. Gracias, Jorge. Y bueno, si el próximo equipo puede empezar ahora y después
Vale,
podemos volver a equipo 1.
Perfecto.
Entonces, gracias, Jorge, por ahora. Y vamos a volver a ti. ¿Y quién es el próximo equipo? Who is going to present the next slides? Who is this? Tony. I'm not surprised to hear that enthusiasm. Hello. You ready?
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Very good, awesome. So let's try to. Can I share my screen? I can watch actually the function here. Oh, wait a second. Okay.
You of all people. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay. Let me present it. Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you to all the team, our team, but also the MigraCode team and all the community we have, all amazing people, you know, those rockstar developers that help us to to keep calm in the fire moments when everything is broke. Yeah. Okay. We tried to build, actually, we built a very, very ambitious project, I think. And maybe we were able to have like this experience in the first hand of trying to push the boundaries and the needle until we can. And yeah, I would like to present this project. Wait a second. Okay, our team, here we have Boris. Sorry, Boris, I didn't find your last name. And here I was in the backend side, Sakiel was in the front end, Joanna was also in the front end, and Jaime was helping us with the database structure. And yeah, before like getting into the concept of the application itself, I would like to talk a little bit about like a general trend in the world, and maybe this can give us like the context for understanding why this what is the reason behind this application. In general, we have been experiencing like a global change when it comes to how the world is structured, because things that we have like this interconnection thanks to the internet and these new technologies. Like long story short, now we have like decentralized options. And I wanted to think, for example, how would you express your idea to the world? 20 years ago, it was not really easy. Even people don't realize that they were not able to do it because you didn't have an option. You didn't have social media. So for example, if you want to talk with someone in the other side of the world, you don't even consider it an option. It was not even in the realm of thinking of what you would like to do. And in the last 20 years, we have been like getting into a new ecosystem, but we are getting able along the way of doing many crazy things. Even if you try to explain internet, for example, to someone 25, 30 years ago, it's amazing. Even it was outside of the realm of magic. For example, if you try to explain someone about cell phones in general, hey, you're going to have like a piece of glass in your hands and you're going to be able to access to the knowledge of the world in just a second, and you can speak to that piece of glass and you're going to be able to speak with someone else around the world, or maybe tweet something and a lot of people is going to know about it. It sounds crazy. So advancement is not linear, it's exponential, and sometimes, usually, is outside of the realm of imagination, the things that are coming, until someone make it, and then it becomes like something obvious. Then it happens, after it happens. So, C-Hop, okay, this is like a summary. Basically, C-Hop is an idea that is based on the concept that the things that have been centralized right now have to be centralized in the future, and we can provide a new option for giving people the power of doing something that in the past it was not easy to do. And how are we going to do that? By absorbing complexity. And how are we going to absorb complexity? Well, we want to help the community of the people that right now is creating technological solutions. This is known as the maker community. Usually it's people that print things with 3D printers. For example, in the lockdown, it was the printer community, the maker community, that came to ideas to create like this mask, etc. It was the maker community who was able to manufacture a couple of solutions and iterate faster with a couple of concepts. And also these guys are the ones who created domotics and robotics in the early stages that then become products that we consume. So this community is tiny, kind of, if we compare this maker community with another communities. But think for a second, 20 years ago, if you talk about YouTubers, it was not something that was in the realm of common knowledge. The people who create content was a very small amount of people. And if you want to create content, you had to have crazy expensive equipment. Then obviously the compound effects of different technologies came to the context where you can create for very cheap, quite good content. So following this trend, now we want to offer a platform that gives people the tool for manufacturing technological solutions, and not just like solutions like have been in the past. Because right now the maker community, they create quite interesting things. The problem is that you cannot reach the production level and you cannot create easily meaningful technology that can solve real problems. And there are a couple of reasons why this happens in this way. And we want to absorb complexity to decreasing the friction when you want to create something. Imagine that you want to create something in general. For example, if you want to create, for example, AirPods, let's say that you want to create, I don't know, maybe a mouse or something in general. Doesn't matter where it is. It's quite complex with you because you have to deal with different areas of expertise of knowledge. You have to know about, oh, maybe printer and all these like CAD, which is computer aided design, these 3D stuff. And then you have to understand the hardware, and then you have to understand the software, and then you have to understand how to pull all these together and create a production line. So it's crazy hard to deal with this level of complexity. So C-Hub, a long story short, is a platform that absorbs this complexity and help you to create meaningful technology in a very easier way. Okay, so we start with like a approach of what was like the minimum viable things that you will have to do in the platform in order to make it real. The concept is the following. If you create, let's say, GitHub, obviously it's just it's an ecosystem of tools. It's not like a GitHub, but let's say just a matter of comparison. If you have a GitHub, but you don't have only the software things inside of the repository, inside of the project, but you have also the CAD things. It means all the 3D printer stuff and all the 3D things, the 3D assets. At the same time, you have all the things that have to do with the hardware. At the same time, you have in the same repository, all the documentation and everything you need to do to understand all the knowledge, all the expertise, all the assets in order to build that thing. It's kind of have that real thing digitalized in one single project. That was kind of the concept. And obviously, not right now, but like the concept in the middle long term is not limited for the complexity of the thing. You can have, I don't know, a car, an entire car inside of one single project, and a space station, I don't know, we can go crazy. And that is the thing. If you can have in a very single archive, in a very single and easy to understand context, complex things, we can iterate and make easier to create meaningful technological solutions. So C-Hub is this, and now I want to show the results. And actually wanted, I think we wanted from the beginning to exceed the expectations, because obviously in MigraCode, it doesn't suppose that we have to build kind of this crazy and hard to build kind of project. But I think it was amazing, and I really appreciate that you guys give me the opportunity of trying, and we built a team and we did it. Actually, when I proposed to do it, I was not expecting just or not. I mean, I just proposed it, but I was not expecting to build it. But it has been really interesting, and I really appreciate all the work of the people that have worked on this. Okay, so okay, wait for a second. Okay, here we have the homepage. This homepage, it looks like Amazon, let's say. It looks like an e-commerce. But the concept is that these projects, these products, are not products that were manufactured outside. These products were manufactured, well, not manufactured, but designed by the community. Eventually, we would like to offer options for us to manufacture these projects. We create the hardware for people to create these projects. The whole idea is to absorb as much as we can the complexity of building something. So here is the thing. The reason why 3D printing technologies is in the early stages and we don't have a 3D printer at home as we have smartphones is because we haven't reached a big amount of people using it. So there is not like a viable way of scaling the technology, but if we find a way to create meaningful things and useful things that we can print and use and sell, then we can overcome the threshold where the market can invest drastically in the advancement of key technologies for manufacturing these kind of products in a decentralized way at home, let's say. Obviously, it's a trend. It's not something that is going to happen from one day to another, right? Okay, so we have like sections here. This is like the idea, the general idea. In this, if you want to enter here, your mommy can enter here. A non-tech can enter here and buy technology that is actually useful. And they don't have to be tech savvy. It's just everyone can came here and just buy interesting things for specific communities. So let's say we want to, oh, this is an amazing drone. And these guys, they create a new, I don't know, an algorithm that is different, or maybe this drone works in a different way, or maybe they found a way to make it cheaper. I don't know. So this is something that I cannot find anywhere else in the world but inside of this platform, because this guy have created, they have it here, and I can buy it here. So this is kind of the general idea. Obviously, then this is like the ecosystem of the people that is not into the creation of this project. So I want to go to another spectrum here. Okay, you go, for example, login, and then you log in into the platform, and then you go, okay, you have like a feed. Let's say that you enter into your social media, you enter into Twitter, into Facebook, and you have a feed. Well, in this feed, you have the notification of the new projects or new laboratories. Inside of the community, you have a laboratory, and you can work with other people inside a laboratory. And this laboratory, you can have multiple laboratories. And inside the laboratories, you have these projects. And inside the projects, okay, let's go to the projects. Okay, you have all the information you need. Obviously, this is not like useful files, but this is like the concept. You have here, for example, all the information, and you have here the README file, and you can have like a global context of what it is. And then you have the documentation about this project, and then you can watch the CAD files. You can go check it out, for example, about the hardware, the code, and you have everything here. It's basically, you have like a digitalized version of what you are watching. It's like a whole digital thing about the manufacturing, about the kind of details that you need to understand if you want to build it. And then you have this option that, oh, it's a product. Okay, and eventually what we want, what we would like, because C-Hub obviously is a project that we would like to build outside of this realm of the student ecosystem. For example, okay, let's learn more and maybe buy it. And eventually when you buy it, it doesn't mean that the person who created have to print it and manufacture it, that us as C-Hub, we can provide the makers opportunities for us to create it and manufacture it and deliver it for them. That is kind of the idea that Amazon is doing right now. For example, if you write a book, you upload the book, you upload the data, and what is happening is that when you buy what someone else buy that book, Amazon is printing it and delivering for them, and you earn money for that. that is kind of the idea. And after this, if you like this project, you can clone that project. You can choose your own laboratory and then kind of you fork it, but you fork it into a laboratory. And inside of your laboratory, then you can modify it. You can create another version. You can work with another people and eventually, I don't know, create another project based on this, another product, or just make it better. This kind of the concept. Well, thank you so much. This is kind of the idea. I hope you like it. And I don't know if you have questions. And by the way, sorry, Josel, he was the one who helped us to create the homepage. So I want to give him really a special mention. He was not officially in the team, but he really helped us to trigger the first stages of the design of the interface. So yes.
Thank you, Tony. As always, it's you give the super interesting presentations with a lot of background. That's good. Thank you so much. I got a question straight away. So you are planning, or your team is planning to develop this further? I mean, now I see you put some examples, but I think there are no real projects yet, or maybe I understood incorrectly, but are you planning to do more with it?
Well, I came with this idea maybe 3 years ago, and I have been researching a lot, and I do planning to maybe in the middle, long term, to make it real.
And your team wants to continue helping you, or it's going to be a lone project?
I know Sakiel is excited. I think he would like to. Others are invited, of course. But I don't know. Maybe it's a question that they should answer.
Good. No, super nice. I love the interface. It's super nice. I don't know if anyone else has some questions about the project, or about the work, or about the process leading to this. See some good feedback in the chat, so maybe that's already enough. Good. I think it was super clear, Tony. Thank you.
I do have a question.
There's a question. Tell us.
Yeah. Congratulations, Tony, and all the team too. Tony, and I would like to ask you something very similar of what Vincent just asked you. Regarding the concept of a beta version of this platform, what would you prioritize it when launching this platform as for the first time on a beta concept to get feedback from the users?
Okay, I think that the core of the problem right now is that it's really hard to gather the assets you need to have and the information you need to have in order to replicate a product. That is kind of the main problem right now. For example, there are some guys that right now have YouTube channels, and they actively create these kind of products, and they actively want other people to replicate what they are doing. And for example, they have maybe some PDF to explain few things. Maybe they have the code on GitHub. Maybe they have on Hackaday.io the explanations. Maybe they have all the cat things in Thunk, that is another platform, or Thingiverse. So it's like everything is in many tiny and specific platform. So if that's kind of a very core problem, if we gather that whole information and we can create like a minimum viable system for storing that information and then replicate it, that's it. I think that's a very good first step in that direction. So that was kind of the reasoning process behind. Maybe we have this huge idea, but what is the kind of the core problem, and how we can find a solution for this kind of core problem in this community.
Okay.
And just one more question. Sorry. Would you prioritize a target, a public for the first implementation?
Yes, for sure. The people that is into Fab Lab. Fab Lab is a concept. Came to the MIT professor Neil Grafenstein. He created a very famous concept, which is Fab Lab, and by itself, the concept means a lot of things. But around this concept, there is a whole community of people that create things with an intention. It's kind of a whole community with a common, how to say that, a common driving force. It's like a common language. So there is already a community of people that is creating things. So those are, I think, the early adopters of these kind of platforms. And I think they could be, they would love to have all these assets in one single place. I think there is already a community of people that would like to use these kind of tools.
Cool. I think Gustavo got another person who wants to ask some things, maybe. But...
¿Quieres decir algo, Tei? ¿Quieres decir algo?
Okay, genau. Cool. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, team two, and thank you, Gustavo, and the whole family for the questions. Super nice. Okay, cool. That was it for team two. Bueno, creo que vamos a volver al equipo 2. Uno, perdona, equipo 1.
Jorge, ¿puedes presentar ahora?
¿Está aquí?
No, todavía no se ha arreglado el tema este de compartir pantalla, pero estamos buscando una solución.
Okay, bueno. Sí, vamos a hacer una pausa ahora. Entonces, y después la pausa te puedes empezar otra vez. Quizás en la pausa podemos intentar. Y después la pausa podemos empezar con equipo 1. So yeah, we'll have a short break. Let's say 10 minutes. So 7:10, we will continue. Entonces tenemos una pausa de 10 minutos. Entonces tomar una café o una cerveza. Nosotros vamos a tomar una cerveza. Entonces nos vemos en 10 minutos. We see each other in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Ya podemos verlo, Jorge. Sí, podemos ver hola.
Sí.
Wow, even cookie policy. Bueno, ¿estáis listos? Equipo 1.
Sí.
Bueno, esperamos un poco más, 2 minutos, pero bueno, entonces tú empiezas en 2 minutos.
Vale, estábamos probando que se viera.
Bueno. Tú empiezas. Nosotros empezáis. Eso. Okay, we're going to start again. Everyone there? Vamos a empezar otra vez. Everyone ready? Genial, gracias, Jonah. Bueno, Jorge, ¿estás listo para compartir tu pantalla?
Sí, un minutín y vamos.
Bueno. Diana, you play guitar. You play guitar, Diana.
Yeah, a little bit.
You got 2 guitars over there. I mean, it says something. Good sign.
Qué estrés.
Tony plays guitar, okay. So for the next event, when we have a break, Tony is gonna play the background music. ¿Cómo va, Jorge y Melina? Tranquilo, si necesitas más tiempo.
Let me ask Jorge. So.
Bueno, creo que eso es un ejemplo muy bueno de improvisar cuando trabajamos online. Todo es nuevo.
Ok.
Ahora, espera, ¿ya se me escucha?
Vale.
Sí, Jorge.
Vale. Un momento. ¿Ya has contado nuestro plan?
¿El plan?
O sea, sí, que vamos a compartirlo.
Ah, no, pensé que era un secreto.
Ah, no.
Bueno, well, Jorge cannot share screen on Zoom, so Jorge and I are gonna meet on Google Meet. He's gonna share me his screen, and I'm gonna share you his screen.
I love it. It's improvising like we do.
Yeah.
But I did see the screen a little bit just now of Jorge, like 3 minutes ago. It was there.
Yes, but he couldn't share his whole screen.
Ah, okay. Okay, no worries. We'll wait for Google Meet to pop up.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share now my screen.
You build up a lot of tension now. So.
Aquí está la sorpresa, ¿no?
Bueno.
Vale, a ver si se ve bien.
Do
Bueno.
you see my screen?
Yeah.
Sí, no,
And Jorge's, yeah.
lo estoy viendo yo también, así que vale. Bueno, pues como os comentaba, estamos con la Daily App, ¿vale? Que vuelvo a un poco resumiendo, que es una aplicación que intenta ayudar a los centros de día para las personas mayores, ¿vale? Que, pues eso, que tienen que gestionar mejor la información y nosotros lo que queremos es al final que tengan una comunicación con la familia para de esta forma estar más al tanto de todo, ¿no? Vale, voy a ver cómo estaba esto. Sí. Vale, pues un momentito que vuelvo a empezar. Vale. Bueno, como os estaba contando, esta es una aplicación en la que nosotros lo que queremos es una aplicación cerrada, porque al final lo único que queremos es que sea una comunicación entre el centro de día y la familia, y por tanto no será una aplicación abierta al público general, simplemente sería una aplicación en la que hay conexión directa familia y centro. Entonces, el registro sería más bien a través de una invitación por correo que nosotros daríamos a la familia para que ellos puedan tener un usuario, y si no, el alta la daría el director, que sería el que tiene el nivel de permisos más alto, a los distintos trabajadores, ¿vale? Entonces, nosotros hemos trabajado sobre todo en la parte de iniciar sesión, porque lo que nosotros queremos es que no se entre a otras partes de la aplicación si no estás con la sesión iniciada. Entonces, para eso hemos utilizado distintas herramientas para poder realizar un token en el que tenga, como todos los inicios de sesiones, un token que tenga fecha de expiración, autentificación, usuario, y que además esté todo encriptado. ¿Vale? Nosotros, por ejemplo, para iniciar sesión, esta es la contraseña. Empezaríamos así, normal, como cualquier otro inicio de sesión, ¿vale? Y entrarías aquí directamente. Entonces te genera el token, de esta forma solo tú podrías entrar, ¿vale? El token lo hemos almacenado en el local storage, también ahora estábamos trabajando intentando almacenarlo o en el local storage o en las cookies. Al final, por tiempo, hemos decidido hacerlo en local storage, que al final me ha resultado ser más fácil que en las cookies, y ya estaría. Entonces tú puedes entrar aquí a la aplicación, ¿vale? Puedes entrar al panel de enfermeros, ver los distintos enfermeros que tienes. Por ejemplo, también podrías entrar en lo de los pacientes, podrías buscarlo, como, ya os explicamos las anteriores sesiones que tenemos los endpoints preparados, pero como sabéis, la dificultad no es tan fácil como parece juntar frontend con backend. Entonces, al final, no nos ha dado el tiempo. Puedes también entrar al panel de incidencia, las incidencias que tendría esta persona, o sea, en este caso el director, para participar, o sea, para interactuar con ellas, y luego los grupos burbujas que hoy en día pues, se tienen que realizar debido a la situación en la que estamos. Entonces, de esta manera se pueden crear, se pueden ver todos los grupos burbujas, se pueden juntar, o sea, se pueden emparejar paciente con cuidador, etcétera, ¿no? Entonces, al final, nosotros lo que queremos es esto, que haya, sobre todo, seguridad y que no se pueda entrar en la aplicación si no estás conectado, ¿vale? Bueno, Lamentablemente por tiempo también no hemos puesto la opción de cerrar sesión, ¿vale? Pero sin embargo vamos a intentar ver si esto ocurre. Ya espero que no me deje mal, ¿vale? En principio, ahora no me tiene que dejar entrar al dashboard ni a otra parte de la aplicación porque no tenemos el token y por tanto no podemos entrar en la aplicación porque no nos hemos autentificado, ¿vale? Eso es lo que nosotros queríamos. Y en este caso, pues tendríamos que ir o restablecer contraseña o pedir ya que nos dejen entrar en la aplicación con una invitación, ¿vale? En principio tenemos esto, ya os mostramos antes el backend que teníamos preparados los distintos endpoints. Pues con los backends podemos agregar pacientes, podemos agregar distintos trabajadores, niveles de permisos y además podemos actualizar las actividades. Tenemos también endpoints para actualizar actividades, pero como sabéis, juntar backend y frontend a la hora cuando se trabaja por separado, a veces tienes que modificar cosas en frontend, tienes que modificar luego cosas en backend y eso en ese sentido no nos ha dado tiempo. Y ya estaría. Y esta sería la demo de nuestra aplicación. Como os he dicho, sobre todo le hemos dado mucha importancia a la parte del token y ahí es quizás donde hemos perdido más tiempo y al final pues, nos ha pillado un poco. Pero bueno, en principio ya tenemos el flujo, ya tenemos un poco cómo funciona un proyecto y hemos participado todos. No sé si queréis ver algo más del código, si queréis... Si tenéis preguntas.
Gracias. ¿Alguna pregunta por parte de alguien? Any questions about the awesome demo of Jorge and his team? Yo tengo una pregunta, Jorge.
Sí, dime.
Es si tenéis pensado seguir con este proyecto o no.
Pues no lo habíamos hablado al respecto. La verdad es que es un proyecto bastante interesante porque al fin y al cabo creo que es útil, tiene utilidad y creo que sí que se podría plantear. Pero sí, bueno, tiene mucho trabajo también, eso sí.
Sí,
no sé, tendríamos que plantearlo.
Como muchos estudiantes en nuestro proyecto. En nuestro
Sí. Hombre, claro, sí.
No,
Sí, no, pero me refiero a que...
Pero parece como un proyecto muy interesante, como tú dices. Entonces creo que sería muy interesante si podáis continuar con este proyecto. Bueno, es para todos los proyectos, pero bueno,
Claro.
también con esto.
Sí, no, lo que yo me refería es que me refiero a que tiene, o sea, que al final es un proyecto que puede tener como dijo alguna vez Carlos, que puede tener infinitas funcionalidades y claro, no acabas nunca. Entonces, claro, si continuamos con el proyecto ya sería en plan a largo plazo, tendríamos que plantearnos muchas otras cosas más y claro, no, la verdad es que no lo hemos hablado al respecto, pero sí, la verdad es que es un proyecto muy chulo.
Bien. Bueno, gracias, Jorge. Tenemos que continuar con el próximo equipo, pero muchas gracias para la presentación y para improvisar con Google Meet y Zoom y todo.
Sí.
Fantástico. Es creo que un ejemplo muy bueno de cómo trabajamos en MigraCode a veces. Genial.
Sí.
Gracias.
Bueno, pues nada, muchas gracias a todos por el curso también, os agradezco y a mis compañeros también.
Sí, estamos en contacto, Jorge. Y, bueno, por supuesto.
Okay.
Bueno, sí, gracias, Marina. Bueno, el próximo equipo, who's the next team? Team 3, who's going to present?
Here.
Diana.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So we'll start with the presentation. We are working. Bueno, voy a hablar en castellano para que todos entiendan. Estabas trabajando sobre un proyecto para Cycling, para un refugee camp, para un refugee sitio en en Grecia. La cosa más importante que deberíamos hacer es crear un MVP que va a guardar los datos de las nuevas bicis que tienen y de los rentadores. Rentadores quiere decir que la gente que van a utilizar estas bicis están dentro de este refugee camp. Y necesitamos crear una aplicación que va a asignar una bici al rentador. Esta aplicación está solo para un uso interno, entonces no va a haber homepage o algunos datos externos, solo como un cliente para utilizar. Bueno, las cosas más importantes de que hemos pensado al principio es crear algo que va a funcionar, que el backend, el frontend será conectado entre ellos y que podemos ver ya algún maquete que funciona. Bueno, de todos modos, las cosas que hemos pensado es crear una opción de ver todas las bicis, todas bicis rentadas, todas rentadas bicis alquiladas, historia del user y de las bicis, información de cuántas rentings están actualizadas ahora mismo y bueno, el control de todas las bicis y saber si el user está activo o banned. Lo importante es si el user está pasando 4 horas, debe haber baneado. No va a haber opción de alquilar la bici. Bueno, hemos creado el login, el Rent a Bicycle. Estamos comparando con lo que hemos tenido previsto y con lo que hemos hecho. Opción de Rent a Bicycle, crear también lista de las rentings actuales, después añadir bici, update el status de la bici o bueno, cosas de la bici, por ejemplo, el nombre o estación, porque hay 2 estaciones de momento y pueden cambiar el sitio. Entonces, está bien tener update form. Lo mismo para rentadores, tener la forma de crear un rentador y update. Sobre todo hemos pensado de crear, a ver, bueno, tenemos el login, sign up, después del sign up, perdón, después del sign up puedes hacer el login, sin eso no puedes acceder a la aplicación. Bueno, son los mockups un poco pequeños, pero después cuando vamos a enseñar el demo vais a ver que todo funciona y son las pantallas un poco más grandes. Después, ¿cómo lo tenemos? Tenemos welcome y opción o salir o ir al panel. Después opción, bueno, después tenemos crear nuevo rentador, update rentador y eso va a ver en lista de residents, que después va a ir al Rent a Bicycle. Después tenemos opción de Add New Bicycle, ver toda la lista de las bicicletas que están en el campo y Update a Bicycle. También tenemos esta opción que está actualizada y funciona. Después de haber el post al rentings, vamos a ver esta lista de las rentings actuales. Todo funciona y era nuestra función principal, crear algo con que después podemos trabajar. Son UI Basic Style Git, lo que hemos utilizado. Base de datos, hemos tenido 3 tablas, bikes, users and stations. Bicicletas necesitamos para asignar al user, users necesitamos para, bueno, las personas que van a utilizar las bicicletas, necesitamos crear una cuenta para ellos, para tener sobre todo los datos de nacionalidad, género, cumpleaños, passport data y también la base datos de estación, porque como hay 2, tenemos que tener la posibilidad de asignar bici a una estación concreta. Y también para crear un login, está utilizada otra tabla en GeoUsers. bueno, hemos utilizado Node.js, SQL y, bueno, tenemos previsto o estamos pensando trabajar con este proyecto porque sobre todo nos gustó mucho que hay unas personas que de verdad van a utilizar esta aplicación, que no sirve solo para un proyecto final, que podemos pensar cómo funciona, pensar sobre errores que pueden salir y buscar las soluciones para ellos. Estamos pensando, bueno, le digo después de enseñar el demo. Si haremos sign up, esta es nuestra homepage, lo que va a ver al principio. Haremos el sign up. Ya tengo cuenta. Como tengo cuenta, tengo user already exist. Paso al login, pongo mi correo, contraseña, login y paso a esta pantalla donde me aparece el logout, significa salir, o panel. Vamos al principio. Bueno, es nuestra table de todos los datos de las bicicletas que están en uso o no, de todas las bicicletas que hay, con el model name y el día cuando las han subido, y también condición. Podemos update it. Bueno, enseño después de add new bicycle. Name. 1, estación, campo Policastro, condición. Done. Vamos a esperar un poco. Policastro, está asignado a estación Policastro. Vamos a las bicis, perdón, a las bicis y aquí la tenemos, good. Si vamos a update, vale, Policastro, good, done. Updated. Bueno, funciona. Después, hablando de residents, también tenemos opción de crear nuevo residente, pero aquí tenemos función de buscar un residente, cualquier residente, que está en la tabla. Es este. Opción de crear nuevo orientador, poniendo el nombre. El pasaporte, dirección, género, nacionalidad. Bien, hay un error. Register new user added. Funciona. Bueno, lo mismo funciona con update. La forma es bastante larga, pero me puedes creer que funciona. Eso, recibimos aquí los datos, nombre, apellido, el pasaporte, dirección, mail, date of birthday, eso. Y después pasamos al Rent a Bicycle. Es nuestra función que debe filtrar los users, debe encontrar un user by click, después asignar la bici, pero esta opción tenemos asignadas a las bicis solo las que tienen el status disponible. Si no está disponible, no va a haber esta opción para no tener un lío y no mezclarlo en nuestra base de datos. User selected. Nos assign station. Podemos asignar una estación. Bueno, para add time, lo que hemos hecho es a cada opción, utilizando select option, vamos a pasar los datos al rentings table y contarlo con renting date. Y así recibiendo los datos. De momento es todo lo que tenemos. También tenemos unos planes para futuro sobre esta aplicación y cómo la queremos mejorar, porque de verdad nos parece muy interesante que alguien la va a utilizar y vamos a tener unos errores que no son del libro, pero de los users que van a utilizarlo cada día. Hemos pensado de implementar, de hacer la posibilidad de añadir estación, porque pensamos que va a haber más, no solo 2. Recibir historias de cada user renting, porque ahora tenemos rentings actuales y no tenemos la lista de todas las rentings. Por ejemplo, utiliza 2, 3, 4 veces y cuando hacemos el clic al renting, nos gustaría recibir todos los datos que hay. Para eso también hemos tenido un mockup y bueno, no nos ha dado tiempo para trabajar sobre eso, pero lo tenemos previsto. Después nos gustaría también hacer un dashboard con todos los datos y una estadística comparando con el día de ayer o con la semana pasada, cuántas bicis estaban utilizadas. Y hacer opción de descargar los datos por cada día o por cada semana. Y eso. Sobre nuestro proyecto han trabajado yo, José Ariaga, Gustavo Rossini y Annelyn Gómez. Y nuestro instructor, Nanda Drao. Muchas gracias. Ya está.
Genial. Gracias, Diana. Gracias a tu equipo. Y presentación muy buena también. Y estoy muy feliz con el resultado. Y estoy mirando a la cámara de OCC Grecia y ellos parecen muy felices también. Entonces creo que es un trabajo genial. Y bueno, vamos a ver cómo podemos implantar en el domain de Open Cultural Center y cuándo podemos empezar con usar esta aplicación, porque bueno, creo que es listo para usar. Y genial, estamos muy felices. No lo sé si quizás no sé si Grecia quiere responder al resultado genial.
Thank you very much for ability to use your platform. Like, I know that you already had it before, but I hope you will use it and we'll create something great for you.
No sé si la conexión en Grecia es suficiente para...
No.
No.
La conexión es muy mala.
Ah, bueno, sí, ahora.
Me ha gustado mucho la presentación. Creo que nos va a resultar súper útil todas las mejoras que han hecho de la aplicación y realmente es un paso súper importante para nosotros para poder dar este servicio de alquiler de bicicletas a los refugiados que están aquí en el norte de Grecia. Así que buen trabajo, muchas gracias.
Gracias, gracias.
Gracias, María. También para todo el equipo de Grecia para ser aquí. Lo sé, estáis muy ocupados. Es genial. Y bueno, estamos en contacto con OCC Grecia y con tu equipo de Ana para finalizar el proyecto y para poner en el domain de Open Cultural Center. Y bueno, estamos en contacto. Y no sé si hay algunas otras preguntas al equipo de Diana, equipo 3. Are there any questions to the product that Team 3 made? I think the comments in the chat speak for itself. Yeah, really well done. Super nice. Okay, cool. If everything is clear, we move to the last team. Team 4, are you ready? Who's going to present? Equipo 4, ¿estáis listos? ¿Quién va a presentar? Beep says también, anda como. See, no?
Let's go. Everybody wait you.
I'm so sorry, my electricity is not working, so I came out of my relative's office, so that's why.
No worries.
Yeah.
We need a 2-minute break, Beeps, or you're ready? 4-minute break, Alexei. Okay. We take
No,
a 4-minute.
I can
No?
start. I can start.
We can start? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Beeps, please start.
Why I can't present?
I have no idea. You should be able to present. Do you get an error or you cannot find the option?
Yeah, now I think now I can.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, you can see my screen?
We see like.
Yes, we do.
No.
Okay,
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, we see it.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening to all of you, and welcome to all of you to our presentation session. I'm Farhana Tasnim Bipasha from Team 4. Our presentation, our today's project name is Human Resource Management System. The project is based on Human Resource Department, and we all know that human resource is one of the most vital part of an organization. It's a bottom line for companies' administration. Without a proper functioning HR department, a company would fail to achieve a high level of efficacy. And for a high standard HR work, it's really demand maximum accuracy, high level transparency, and overall consistency. And sometimes it's become very difficult and very challenging to maintain that high standard, keeping all the essential criteria in same pace. So our today's project is thinking about some of those problems and one of their solutions. We named our project as a HR app for making it smaller. So this platform is can be used to maintain many things like employees' payroll, their holiday requests, compensation, medical leave, overall performance, training, and many more things. We always say that time is a luxury, so spend it well. So as software, like for an HR department can help widely, like it will definitely gonna save workload, time, and money for companies. And it also helps the employees to take better decision. It helps HR team efficacy, and it also improve employees' experience and overall companies' regulatory compliances. So go ahead. So this is for a part of MVP, we only work for the holiday request. And as a accessibility, we give functionality to both for the employee and for the employers. Tracking vacations with a lot of vacation details is one of the stretching things for HR. And just think that you have a software which is really automated in process, and you can approve and decline a holiday request just simply clicking on a button. So here it is our HR app, which is really automated software, which will receive a series of holiday requests from the employee, and the employer can click it and decline or approve it by a simple using a button. And at the same time, employee don't need to wait to get a appointment for their HR or need to wait for their turn to get a holiday. They can simply make a direct vacation request with filling their desired date with an impressive and pampering description. So this is overall our MVP will work. So now I would like to ask my fellow mate Ali to show his through his window how this functionality exactly work in real.
Thank you so much, Bipasha. Very nice presentation and explanation. Definitely is gonna make my job very easy. So hi everyone, my name is Ali, and I'm going to show you guys our product, our website. So I'm gonna share my screen. everyone can see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah. Wonderful. So I'm going to run my, okay, it's already running. So here we go. So this is our login page. And we have already created some user logins. So I'm going to use them. So first of all, I'm gonna log in as an employee to request my holiday. So Sylvia, she is an employee and she is going to log in as an employee. And here we are. So this is the profile view of our employee. And there are some already requests, just ignore it for now because we were doing it practice and checking it, our code. So this is a button to make our request, holiday request. So title, okay, we can call it vacation. And we're gonna tell like how long we want our vacation. So let's say March 2021 to April 2021. And in description, she can tell like what is the reason. She can write a letter. Let's say I want to go to the world tour. Since we're imagining, so let's imagine big. So submit. So when she's going to submit, so we will see her request here. Let me see, it's going to be below somewhere. Here we go. So it's there is this description. It's open. The request is open. So when HR is going to look at it, and he will going to approve or decline it. So so I'm gonna log out, and so I'm gonna sign in as an HR. If I forgot my password, I simply click here, and I can retract my password. And so now I'm gonna log in as an HR or as an employer. So when I'm going to log in, so this is the dashboard of the company or HR. So these are the employees or employer of that company. This is a dashboard, and I'm going to click holidays because I'm going to look request of holidays. So he will be able to look all the requests from his employee. So let's find the request from our specific, which we just made. Okay, here it is. So I want to go to the world tour. So here we can decline it and approve it. So John is a good HR, so he's going to approve it. So when he's going to approve it, so here we can see the changing status approved. So I mean, he can decline it. I mean, she's going on world tour. He might feel a little bit jealous, but he's a good HR, so he can approve it. So here's the status of approved. So so now we have to check the status. So from our employee profile. So Sylvia, I'm going to log in again as Sylvia. Log in, and so I'm going to go below where my request was. So here I can see that my request is approved. And we can see some example above like declined. So this is how our this functionality works. So for more information, for further details, I will call my other mate, Anudeep, and he's going to explain about the sign up page. So thank you guys. Anudeep, stage is yours.
Hello guys, thanks Ali for your part. So I'm gonna share my screen. I believe you can hear me, right? Hello?
Yes, we do.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Perfectly.
Okay, thanks. So I believe you can see my screen as well.
As well.
Okay, thanks. So I'm gonna show you how we are gonna sign up, and the first steps when a new user signs up, and those first tasks. So I think I'm gonna put the name of our main people from MigraCode, maybe one Vincent, and the last name Carlos. Carlos, don't feel bad. I am gonna put your name first in here. So Carlos Vincent. So I'm gonna give you the role of an employer and the email address MigraCode.
Are we getting spam now, or?
No. You don't have to worry about that. Let me just make sure, I'm typing correctly, so I don't want to get my...
Vincent, first month for free, like usually.
What was that?
That's good. Then I can have some spam.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna sign up. And so, yeah. So in here, just a second. I'm sorry, guys. Just there was some error. I'm gonna try it again. Vincent, Carlos. Yeah, let me just put just Vincent there, or maybe just employee for a second.
Anudip, put another one email. This one is bad.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Something just went wrong.
This is like this. These presentations of Microsoft that they announce the new Windows and you get the blue screen of death. I think you should always think about that when you have this error.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't know what is going on. Let me try once again.
Try once more, otherwise no worries.
Yeah.
Again, we're building up a lot of tension here, so if it's gonna work now.
Anudip, this is a bad email. Anudip.
What?
I know a good email. New mail 25.
Okay.
Well, this is a great.
Okay, yeah, finally, it's a success. So yeah, so this is a new employee's profile looks like. So as you can see, there are no holiday requests. So I'm gonna make a new request and in here like yeah, because for holiday from February 3rd. March 4th. Holiday for, I don't know, something for wedding. So if I submit it, yeah, you can see a new request over here. And then as you can see, this is a new user. We can log out, and if you go to the employer's profile, you can see, yeah, obviously, all those new profiles that we have made for the employee. So this is how how it works when you are signing up. And I would like to show some of the front-end code that we did. And for most of the front end, we have used a library called Chakra UI, which is kind of like Bootstrap, and it was really helpful, and it helped us a lot for making the styles and everything. So you can see all these boxes are actually similar as a div in Chakra. So, and the other things like input, obviously it makes sense actually what it is. And yeah, so basically that's how we did with the front end. We used a lot of Chakra, and it was pretty easy, but it also at the same time it was challenging. And yeah, that is it from my part, and I give it to Alexei, our team leader, for the continuation. And sorry for the delays and everything. I apologize.
No worries, Anudip. Well done.
Okay,
looking
thanks.
forward to hear the rest from Alexei.
Okay, thanks.
I have a most interesting part. I need to talk about backend. Backend, it's very interesting. Backend always have a lot of consoles, blah, blah, blah. Nothing interesting. So what we have, I want to show you, we have our application in production server. All guys show you in his local machine. I don't know why, because we have it online already. So everybody can feel, where is it? Yourself like a hacker and use it. Chat. Okay, I put link here. Welcome to test. So for backend, we do it couple of weeks ago. So nothing changed. We use SQLi like LRM. So we have models, we have seeders, we have roads. We don't have controllers because we don't have the time to do it. This is a couple of endpoints for each one instance. So we have a free table like users, company, and requests. So for each one entity, we have a full CRUD API. Some special endpoints for request for it's all request by company. So some special endpoints to get all requests by company, some special endpoints for get all requests by user, but it not exist here. Anyway, Anudip, let's check. Is your user here? Yeah, yes. Carlos Vincent, it's your user object. Are you happy?
We look wonderful.
Yeah, I know. It's very interesting.
But Alexa, can you make us a bit bigger because we're really small?
I can't.
You can't.
I can't. This is a postman. He don't know how to do it. But I can make a screenshot for you, and you can put on your desktop.
Okay, that's a deal.
So I think it's enough from my side. Beeps, you will finish this one. Beeps.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much to listen us so passionately. Here is some tools we have been used to make it live. For product design, we use Figma. For stack, we use JavaScript, React Chakra, CSS. And for utilities, Postman. For backend, we have used MySQL, Express, Node.js. We have been used Git, GitHub, Node, NPM, Notion, Trello, so many things. You can have a look here. So thank you so much, everybody, to listen us so passionately. We formats work long and hard. We learned a lot. We learned it by doing it. And I'm just started missing all of my team. It was a great part to the whole journey, and it was a great experience. Though it was a nice thing, but it wasn't that easy for us. But we are very privileged getting such a tremendous support from our instructor and the code buddies. They work really hard on us. They work parallelly with us, always support us, always was connected with us. So I want to show my gratitude for all of them. And of course, our supported company Global Lamp for giving us this opportunity to create this platform. So thank you so much. That's all from us. Okay, my moderator, that's it for us.
That's it. We don't expect more. Thank you, Bips. Thank you, the whole team. I really like that you divided the whole presentation among everyone. That was really, really well done. I posted one little hint in the chat. I think you forgot to change one little thing, the name of the page, because it's still assigned as a task, I think. But you can check it in the chat what I mean. But that of course was more of a joke.
Okay, okay, you got it. It's the next, you got it. Come on. Nika,
worries,
are you
of course.
happy? Nika, you here?
What?
I call for Nico.
It was a joke of Alexei.
Good excuse. No, really well done. And yeah, really good ending presentation. Anyone has any questions specifically for this team, for their project and what they've been doing? I think it was, no worries, Pierre. Thanks for joining and have a good night. See you soon. Ciao. So yeah, no questions? I think all was super clear. So yeah, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining, for all the students, of course, for all their efforts, but mainly as well to all the volunteers that have already gotten a lot of credit from each team, to Carlos, to Angelo, to Harriet, all the other people involved for organizing this. And yeah, as I said to all the students, we'll have the graduation in person this Saturday. So hopefully we'll see you all there. I'm also trying to arrange a stream for those who are not in Barcelona. So yeah, I will contact you for that soon. Entonces, para todos los estudiantes, tenemos la graduación en persona aquí en Barcelona, en WebHelp, en la oficina en la que estábamos empezando también. Pero también vamos a arreglar una stream para ver la graduación online también. So yeah, thank you everyone, and contact us if you have any questions, and with all the students and volunteers we'll be in touch. Thank you very much and have a great night. We're gonna have a beer and pizza. Ciao.
Great job, everyone.
Thank you so
See you.
much. Take
Thank
care,
you very
guys.
much.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Era un bye o